Hello everyone and welcome to Wargamer Online's Wednesday Hobby Hangout. I'm Phil and joining me tonight I've got Sam as well, but we'll introduce him in a second because we've got a little bit of work to do before I think... Actually, you know what, Sam? I think you can say hello because I think everything's going.
Thank you. Hello.
Yes, audio is on. That was my worry, Sam. Sorry, I didn't think they'd hear you, but audio is up and running, and I'm pretty certain people can hear you. So if everybody can say whether they can hear Sam okay, that will be brilliant.
There is a proper fog. I know you were talking about fog, but I didn't realise until now. You have got a proper fog going up above you, haven't
you? Yeah, gone a little bit too far on that. I'm pretty excited, Sam. It's a long time since we've been on a chat together. I'm really excited about this.
I know. And it was last minute as well. You were just like, oh, Sam, do you want to come on the chat? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm pretty pleased.
Then,
it feels like old school.
think...
We've gone back to our roots.
Yeah, I haven't got any of my camera or like none of the setup for Hobby Hangout, even though I'm actually sitting building some fire slayers right now. Oh, I'm really far across on your camera.
That's okay. I could or you could turn your camera a little bit. I don't mind. I could try.
Yeah, but then if I turn the camera, you can see the elastic band holding my camera down.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. A little bit of microphone in the corner is fine. Don't forget, I have my airbrush poking in from the side on most of my stuff anyway.
So squeaky as well.
Let's have a couple of minutes on catching up on the chat, I think. Sam, I'm going to leave you on the main screen if that's all right with you. We can do that.
Yes.
Right, who's in the chat then? Well, Reaper28 was in there super early and we were having a bit of a chat earlier on. There's a couple of questions in there which, Sam, we're going to have to try and remember to cover, such as wet pallet or dry pallets and a discussion around it. Jet Set Jimbo joined us. Orc Boys, Marty Milligan is in there. Medic 666666666. That's too many sixes, I know, but it's that time of night, so I'll do my best. Who else have we got? Let me see. Orc Boys, I think I've mentioned. Oh, I hate it. Sam, you know, you get that as well. You know, when the chat just jumps around.
Yeah, it just breaks and you can't do anything about it.
Daryl's in there, so that's brilliant. And let me, you know, I wish I could just click on an arrow. That would help, wouldn't it? Marty Milligan. Who else have we got? I think I've mentioned.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while, actually. I feel like I've just disappeared from the channel for a while because, yeah, that lodge holiday. And before that, I've just been trying to get on with creating videos. And I haven't really been as connected. I feel like I've just been away from the whole community a little bit.
Well,
which has been rubbish.
Well, but I mean, I mentioned on the chat as we were building up to the live show, you've been working like a very busy beaver as well, and we almost seem to go in waves, don't we, of activity. There's like preparing stuff for content, and then there's the production of the content, and then there's the editing of the content. You've been painting Frostgrave, you've been working on your Primaris, you've been working on and doing tutorials while you've done all of this as well. So we're closer to get...
and the bolt action, they've been done. And the Dreadstorian's still behind me. Let's see if I can move. Still behind me there, look. He's stalking me. Sam is lagging. I mean, his video feed is out of sync with the audio.
Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed that as well. So give me a second. And oh, don't do that, Sam. I'll tell you what, I wonder if I turn that off. Say something nice, Sam. I just want to see if that's improved it. Say hello.
Something nice. I won loads of games at the weekend, so I came back hardly salty at all. It's been amazing. So that's something nice.
Right.
No bullying.
No bullying. There's definitely an out of synchronization, and I have no idea what's causing that. I've got everything set up right, so...
Turn off my video. Nobody needs to see me anyway.
No one needs to see... Oh, people want to see you, Sam. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit behind. We'll leave it to the chat to make a vote on whether they mind a little bit of lag on your video. We've got other stuff to look at on the main screen as well. So you're not going to be there all the time. Let's get back to the chat. So Marty Milligan, Orc Boys, Jet Set, Daryl, Neil Molden was in there as well. How you doing? He's been doing some great stuff. He's been working on some historic stuff, and he is blowing the trumpet for the historic gamers as well on the forum, which we'll talk a little bit about later as well. So that's all good news. What else have we got going off down here? Crikey, Furious George has joined us as well.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
I want to say as well, like, even though I haven't necessarily been posting as much and replying to as many comments or whatever is possible, I have been sneakily looking at everybody's progress on the Facebook group and on the forum, and there's a lot on there already. There's so much stuff that's just ridiculously good, and I haven't even had time to post anything I'm working on or comment on much other than saying hello to people who have joined the forum. So I just wanted to say the awesome progress with everyone's doing.
I think
go on.
Ralph has actually got like 2 stars now as well. He's like the first person to hit 2 stars on the forum. Like, can you believe one of the moderators is like above the admins? That's how bad. I was like,
I think I've done like that's it.
Just need to post random stuff until we beat him or something. I think
no,
it's too late.
That's not one thing you do. I mean, you said you don't know much about forums. One thing I remember from forums is not just to like say one word like replies to people to bump up your badge in the forum. That's one of the rules that generally goes in place. You've got to have constructive feedback and conversations. And to be fair, it's better than just going cool, just to get your badge a little bit better. But there's none of that. Everyone's just posting up really cool stuff and chatting to each other, and it's awesome.
Then I will behave myself in future, definitely.
Have you been doing that?
No, I've definitely not. No. Okay, moving on. So, Furious George joined the chat. And
Furious George.
I'm hoping I'm not missing.
I love his avatar.
There was so much chat, and because I was sort of sat at the desk for an hour or so, well, I was really having a good old chat in the chat as well, which was fantastic stuff. So the chat's even longer than normal, I think, when it comes to the start of a show. Acharya has joined us. Hey, Amit, good to see you in the chat again. I didn't give you any warning this was happening, so bless you for showing up, and I'm sure you're doing your wonderful chat stream moderation again as well. Roa has joined us in the chat. Excessive Magnetization, who said he was going to try and make tonight's show, and he's missed quite a few as well. So it's good to see you again, Excessive Magnetization. No offense was taken for you not going. Real life gets in the way of loads of things. So, but it's nice to have you back. Johnny Rockstar is evening. Johnny Rockstar is evening. Johnny Rockstar says evening all. Steve Smallworld is in there as well. Billy Lynch, Gabriel, and I think, well, Graham Rigg and Turrican is giving us a wave as well. So Tabletop Ops as well, saying greetings to everyone. So I love Phil. I've missed Sam. I was hoping the holiday army boxes would be a little cheaper and for a limited time. So there's a double comment. The army boxes, wow! To be honest, I haven't checked the price, but there's a lot in those things. So
I probably don't need to look at them. That's the other thing. I've got so much on. I don't need to look at anything else.
Oh, I've missed a couple as well. Troy G saying hello and Frank Storm saying hello as well. So there we go. I tell you what, the lag has gone apparently. I don't know how I fixed that or whether I even actually did fix that.
It was me all along. I'm a master. No, it wasn't. It was just technology not working.
No, I tell you what, it said something about timestamp, so I just unticked that, and then everything seemed to start working again. So maybe it was that all along. Okay, then let's do a little bit back up to one of the first questions, because this is a hobby hangout. There's not a huge amount of structure. I definitely want to have a chat about the forum tonight. I definitely want to talk about some ideas I've got for 3D printed terrain for both Necromunda and 40k, and it's just sort of the start of an idea at the moment. And also, I know Sam's face because he knows how much terrain has got to do. But Sam, this is going to be one of those terrain pieces that's less about work and more about print time on the 3D machine, a bit like my doors. So I'm hoping that this could be a thing, Sam. This could be a thing.
I hope it is, because I zone out every time you talk about terrain. I'm like, there's a city, there's a lava board, there's a Frostgrave board, there's a Tyranid board, there's a Necromunda board, and we haven't completed any of it yet. There's just so many boards starting and none of them finishing. So,
but Sam, you know,
I know what you're like. You're to sleep.
You know, once I get started on those things, they happen. All right, that's the thing. You know, I will get them done.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, wet palette, dry palette was the question, and it wasn't much of a question. I think it was just saying, you know, what do you think to them, or what's the difference? Maybe that was the question. So Sam, do you want to start with this? You've done a wet palette video on how to make a quick wet palette, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of it. I mean, it's quite basic. You get a pot, you get some sponge, and you get some grease-proof paper, and that's as simple as it is. It's very cheap to make your own wet palette. Since I used a wet palette, I've never gone back. And the thing that I use, I'm just gonna move everything because I'm really not prepared. Look how much of a mess this is. I was supposed to tidy it up, and it's all over the place. This is an old Games Workshop basing kit box, and it's the perfect size for the foam that you can pick up from like supermarkets. So I've now switched to using a very thin piece of foam, but you can use kitchen towel or whatever. But I've never gone back to painting without a wet palette now because it's just so good.
You know what?
If I'm doing little jobs or washes, I don't bother.
I had an official wet palette, one of those. I can't even remember the make of it. And E3. E3, I now use one of your wet palettes. It's actually better than the E3 one. One, it keeps wetter longer because they properly seal, don't they? The top seals.
Yeah.
And I use a little bit of felt actually. So, and again, that works so it's kind of thin. It remains moist really long.
Well, I'll show you the stuff that I've got actually, because it's just here. If I don't knock everything off. Right, so these are little sponges that you get for cleaning normal household sponges, and they're a bit bigger than this. So all I do is I cut them to size, and then as soon as it comes to needing a wet palette, I just pop this in and put the greaseproof paper over the top. And these literally last weeks now, so I don't need to replace them as much as kitchen towel. So I may do a wet palette version 2 or something and see how that goes.
Definitely, and definitely those. I know it sounds crazy, but I would go out and buy some of those Games Workshop tufts just so I could have one of those trays because it's lower down, easy to get your brush into. You know, like that W one, the lid folds back as well, so it makes it twice as large. Whereas on these, the lid detaches. You can put it to one side. It's like inadvertently GW have made the perfect wet palette.
Well, there's a good excuse to go out and buy some basing stuff.
That's looking amazing, that thing in the background there. Can we have a closer look at that?
Yeah, I just knocked it over, so I thought I'd at least set it up so it was ready to go. I've filmed the entire basing thing because I thought you can't have too many basing tutorials, even though it's similar to yours. But mine's going to be more magical and less lava-y. And there's all these little ball-bearing things on it, so it's going to be hopefully sparkly. And she's just got a bit of some tabars that I need to green stuff on her. And then it's good to go with the paint job. I haven't figured out what I'm doing yet, but she's huge and awesome, and she's like about to smash face. So I'm really pleased with how she's come out. But today I'm building fire slayers.
I like the layered rock you've done as well. That kind of stepped layered rock as it's pulling up along with the twist. It's as if the whole ground is twisting. I like that.
Well, I thought I wanted it to start as if it is just tearing through. So it's going through all of this, and then it's bringing up to now just spiraling around her. And I did it on 2 wires that go around the entire base, and yeah, it's all just smashed up. I'm going to cover it in sand and put some other bits on there, and there's a pool of magic goo in the middle of there as well.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Doesn't show up very well.
But
it's magical, I swear.
We've got a couple of questions coming in. I tell you what, we're at 15:15. Let's do 15 minutes more of chat and questions, and then I'll give you a little bit of a hobby break to get on with your hobby while I have a talk through the forum as well, if that's all right,
Yeah,
Sam.
that's fine.
So we've got a question from Ralph. How do you prep models without the hobby knife? Mine disappeared yesterday, ordered a new one, but it will be not here before Saturday, and I have 5 corn from Shadespire to build. How would you do it without a hobby knife, Sam? Is it even possible? Scalpel.
It depends what you've got to do, because you can just use to using kitchen knives before, very sharpish kitchen knives, but just enough to take off the mold lines, because any sort of blade will do to do the mold lines. That's what I'm using now. I'm just cutting off the big chunks off the mold lines with the back of the knife, but kitchen knives do work. And I can't remember who it was. It might have been Rory actually. who used it, but it was like an old butter knife was the perfect mold line removal tool, because it's not sharp enough to chop into the model, but it's enough to take off the mold lines. But you just look for a sharpish object and see if you can do anything with it. And if not, if you've got clippers or whatever to take them off the sprue, so I think you're gonna have to get a hobby knife. To be honest with you, you might have to wait.
Yeah,
but some things you can get away with.
I think if they're still on the sprue, you're in a bit of a rock and a hard place, because you might just, and this is coming from Ralph, and we've seen how much work he puts into his models on the forum. So I don't think he'd be happy if he was
get a butter knife out.
Getting the butter knife out.
Rachel, she hates it when things disappear and I just start using them for the hobby. And the last one, actually tonight I got told off for using all the blue tack, and I was like, it's rubbish. It's white tack. It's the cheaper version of blue tack. So I got told off, and then I told her off for buying rubbish blue tack. So now I'm in the wrong because I've used it all. But never mind.
I had a classic one the other night. Sarah came downstairs and went, I can't find my iron anywhere. And I was like, iron? I'd been trying to iron my gaming mat flat. Which
that's what you see it as now.
Oh man, that Games Workshop gaming mat, massive mistake those guys putting it in a box. I'm 2 weeks into trying to get that gaming mat flat. It will just not go flat. So I've contacted customer support and just saying, they've offered me like a new one. I was like, well, unless you've changed the packaging, I don't see how that's going to fix it, to be honest. Because it's
folded
to contact
so them, I can't be bothered.
It's easy, Sam. It's
those Shadespire things I've got.
Yeah.
I bought the Death team for Shadespire, and all of the cards are like blurred on the Death team for some reason. It's not like the actual text on the card is readable for the middle of the card, and it is all really blurred. And I know they'd switch it, but I just think it's still usable. It's just a bit of card, but you know what? I'm not even going to bother. It's a bit of card.
Question from Tabletop Ops. We've got, do you guys have a tutorial for source lighting miniatures and terrain? Got Necron MDF terrain, but stuck at painting source lighting. The kind of object source lighting. You've done the glow effect, haven't you? On
the glow effect with the Necromancer, that will work. You just change the colours around and follow the way that it's been done with different colours. But I was thinking of doing another one anyway for that flame effect that I used to do, Phil.
Yeah, because that's beautiful. I still want to do that flame effect, that flame and smoke effect for my avatar base. I want to extend that, as you know. So yes, source lighting. We do have a glow effect tutorial. That is on Facebook, or is that on Premium? It's not Premium. That's a Facebook
it's on YouTube.
One. It's YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. So that's on YouTube, and we'll give you if you're talking about object source lighting done with airbrushing, we haven't done that yet. There's a bunch of tutorials out there. I'm pretty certain that Kablam's covered that as well, so check his channel out. But you're probably not talking about airbrushing. Fairly straightforward task on airbrushing. The one that Sam's, if you're talking about on a miniature though, or having a little bit more control over it, then you want to have a look at Sam's tutorial as well, because airbrushing, I'm an airbrusher and I will still acknowledge that the hand-painted source lighting glow effect gives you a lot more control and realism than hitting it with the airbrush. I have to say, the airbrush looks effective, but the hand.
The thing is, there's a lot more you can do. I did for that glow effect is only like the simplest way that I've found to do glow effect without using an airbrush. Whereas if you can build it up and do layers and layers and layers and get a really nice convincing, even better than that. It's just if you're after speed, that tutorial does a really good job in a very short space of time.
Sam, I'm just going to alter your video quality down a little bit because I think your sound's dropping out every now and then, and I'm hoping that will fix that, because as you know, my bandwidth is not the best in the world, so hopefully that might fix the quality. But
not a problem.
People are just going to see you as a little bit slightly fuzzier, but I don't think that's it's more like a romantic fuzz than that filter they used to put on the old love movies and things like that in the 1950s. That's what we've gone for now. Okay.
Now. I love it. Okay.
Robbie is saying, glad to hear the forum is up and running. Got the day off, so I might post some stuff tomorrow. Well, that's brilliant. Well, like I say, we'll be taking a look through that in 10 minutes or so, and we can have a chat about that. Achari is saying, Sam, is that the Dreadsaurian behind you, or are you just pleased to see me? That's just Achari, really, Achari. And yes, it's the Dreadsaurian behind him. I'm going to answer that question for you, Sam. The airbrushing tutorial for that is ready to go up on onto the premium, actually. So we just need to have a chat, don't we, before the weekend about the release schedule. Because with you being away for a few days, we've not quite caught up on who's putting what up when. So we'll cover that as we go.
So I've got, where has he gone? Oh, I've got another Elementalist video, well, a Frostgrave video, which is going up on premium. And there's going to be a YouTube video from that, just a quick tip series video on painting ginger hair. So that's going to go up on YouTube. So there'll be a ginger video and there'll be an Elementalist. That's for premium. And I've got a bunch of other stuff I need to look through and get finished as well.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Ginger hair, I've never tackled that one, actually. I've never even tried that one, because obviously the problem is it can come out like crazy orange, or it just doesn't quite work, doesn't it?
But I've got a secret trick that I've tried and it works, and now I'm going to share the idea and hope everybody can now do ginger Sam warriors across the space and fantasy worlds.
That might help with my Blood Bowl Dwarf team, maybe. I think that might be the way I go with that one.
Oh, it's so easy as well. It's so easy.
Again, just a quick one to people in the chat. The @Wargamer Online is really helping me pick things out, so please continue with that, because loads of people are using that at the moment, which is fantastic. And if I do miss something and you want me to read it out, please just repost. I don't mind, repost it with the @ and make it easier for me to spot. But I have spotted a couple of things. Ralph is saying the Masterson Stay Wet palette is perfect. The foam is totally flat and even scale 75. Stay moist for days. I've not seen that one, and it's been mentioned a couple of times on the chat, hasn't it? So we'll have to check that one out. There's another one just simply that says, wow, Sam, that's amazing. That may well be to any number of things that you've said or done in the last few minutes, Sam, but that's cool. I think it's probably just your new haircut.
I think it was the fuzziness. This isn't new. This is just not been cut for a while. Put in.
Here's a good one from Robbie, who says, also, I'm very happy with the asset drop box and have continued my subscription. Well, there you go. Fantastic.
Nice. There's been a few people, actually, that have come from that.
Yeah, and a few people have posted on that as well, on a few groups as well. So they seem to have hit the spot with that box as well. People are picking up its good value and stuff, aren't they? And so yeah, I think that was pretty good. Turrican is asking a question. I think I've spotted it. What, if anything, do people use to weigh down your bases? Well, I'll answer that first and foremost. If it's a non-slaughter base, then there's nothing better than a penny, to be honest. They only cost a penny each, which is the good thing about pennies. And they're really easy to do. If you've got the slaughter base, then one of the classic ones is just to use a little bit of 2-part epoxy and fishing lead weights. So you can buy them, they're little round lead balls. You put a bit of epoxy in the base while it's upside down and sprinkle lead weights, and they just they're like 1.5 millimeter. You only pay £1 for a big tub of them, and you can just fill the base with that, and it gives you instant weight. In the past, when the lead miniatures, the white metal miniatures were far more prevalent, I just used to use all the little offcuts and little bits of sprues and stuff, and resin them into the little 2-part epoxy into the bottom of them. But I've long since ran out of bits like that. Sam, anything to add?
No, I think you covered it, to be fair. I mean, big bases, I sometimes just weigh down the base with slate. Sometimes it doesn't have to be underneath it. It can actually be on the base itself. A lot of models, like big models, you can put slate on it and it won't fall over at all. You don't have to faff with anything underneath it.
My brother's done his entire Necron army on slate bases, and it looks really effective as well. That's the thing. But geez, those things do not slide around the table, so there's a serious benefit to it as well. As in those things, it's almost like his entire army is metal, And the good news is if you drop it, the kind of plastic miniatures just pop off the base, don't they? It's the weight is not in the model itself, so it's not like you can do a lot of damage with them either. Okay.
I like the penny method because it adds value to your bases as well.
Although I'm not 100% certain on this, don't quote me on this, but I think it constitutes, certainly in the UK, as treason because I think you're defacing the Queen. So make sure you don't use the Queen side of the face, that you have that visible. Don't put the.
You're just protecting it.
Yeah, you could of course simply be protecting it in resin for all time. So in years to come, someone can make a coin park out of DNA they sample from the coins. Right, lots of people saying 2p's 10 pences. 10 pences, goodness me, that's extravagant at best, isn't it? What else have we got? What kind of rack does Sam have in the background for his paint bottles?
These are, if you go on eBay and type in nail varnish racks and search for ones that have got, they're about £17 for one rack of hearts on the top of them that Phil cut off. So they're made out of quite thin metal. How did you cut them off?
I told you I used a special tool, but the reality is I just waggled them backwards and forwards until they fell off.
Very good. So I think Marty's actually bought some of these as well because he messaged me and said, "Where are the racks from?" And they're from there. I do need to sort it because I was thinking I either need a green screen like Phil or that because it's a mess, and I want it to look neater and tidier and actually have more space for paint. So I actually need more, and I need to think about it again. But this was a cheap stopgap to get my paints off the floor and up onto a wall, and I bought 3 of these for £17, and they hold a lot. Up to about there. Yeah, that's one rack, and I've got 3 of them. So
I was chatting to Ralph actually earlier. I think we should probably do some kind of crowdfunding on WGO and get ourselves a laser cutter and design a bunch of paint racks that's suitable for everybody. Because I've had a look at a whole bunch of paint racks and I just can't find ones that are exactly what I need. I think we should just get like.
So you want to crowdfund an MDF business?
Not the whole business. No, not
MDF.
The whole business. Just let's crowdfund getting an MDF cutter just for ourselves. I mean, I don't just mean Wargamer Online. I mean, like, the Wargamer Online community, and then we just have the machine, and then we'll design them all, and anybody who help crowdfund it gets paint racks to their specification. I don't know, Sam. I haven't thought this through. But you know how I like to make my.
No, you haven't. You haven't thought of logistics. It's a good idea, but I think it's going to be a lot of work, and we've got a lot of editing to do. I need to focus on videos, not making MDF paint racks. As good as it sounds, I do need some MDF paint racks, but
right. Okay, then. So this is it. Then what we need now is someone in the community to find somebody already with the MDF cutting machine to do WGO's branded spectacular
WGO
design. We will use our internet and community knowledge to collectively gain market research on the ideal paint rack for everyone and work it out.
But to do, every viewer of Wargame Online gets discount, full stop.
Something like that. That'd be perfect, wouldn't
it? Everybody gets it free. I don't know. We could find this out. Yeah, it's going to be good.
It'll be brilliant. Or just buy those racks that Sam's got behind him on the wall. That might be easier.
Yeah.
This is Reaper saying, Phil users distract on viewers. It is super effective. I see that white dwarf lol. Yes, I'm a little bit thirsty. I've had a long day and I was having a drink, and I consider it the height of rudeness to drink whilst on camera. So I've been pretending to read a white dwarf while you're chatting and having a little swag of my medicine.
You don't actually care what I think. Yeah, you just want to drink.
Tabletop Up says Valrak spoke on Blood Angels and how they are abilities that work for Blood Angels, but not Primaris models. What do you think about abilities affecting Codex but not Primaris Marines? Have you any insight on this? Because obviously we are seeing the Primaris Blood Angel releases, aren't we, as well? Or at least, the upgrade pack.
I haven't seen anything like this. Is the problem. I've been away. I basically just been like a hermit for the last week or so. But fluff wise, it kind of makes sense because they're supposed to be able to eradicate any of the flaws in the gene seed. So if the Blood Angel's benefits are from an inherent flaw, like the rage, black rage or whatever it is, then it makes sense. Unlike Space Wolves with the wolf transformation thing, I forgot what it's called, but that makes sense. However, it just says they have more control over it. So if they could use it as a benefit, I don't understand why they can't give them that as a benefit version. Like my Black Dragons, in theory, all of their mutations will have been able to be fixed, and they won't have claws coming out their arms. But my Black Dragons are different in where they see it all as a good thing. So rather than get rid of it, they're enhancing it. So they're going to have more blades. They're going to have be able to breathe fire and stuff like that. So fluff wise, it makes sense. Rules wise, I just want Primaris to get more. Everything's given to normal Marines at the moment, and Primaris are looking very basic options, at least on the same level as the rest of the armies.
It's a tricky balance, though, isn't it? Of course, because we're going to see this slow migration over to Primaris, if you like, and there's people out there with big collections of the old Marines that wouldn't be too happy, if you like, if it was all the love was given to Primaris. But I hear you, Sam. I hear you. For someone with a collection like yours. Right. Okay. What else have we got going off here then? Apparently, it's also treason in the US to mess around with the coins. And apparently, according to Reaper, the truly rich use £1 coins to weigh their machinery down. MCM is recommending laser cut scenery, and then there's a bunch of people asking for more likes. How are we doing on the like front? I don't know how we're doing on the like front.
I can't see anything.
I can't see anything as well. I'm trying to limit my data usage because obviously I've got this whole two-way data thing going at the moment.
We probably have like 17,000 dislikes because I'm back.
I tell you what, Sam. We are only 12 subscribers off 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. Just 12 subscribers. That's all we need.
So now we just need people to post on all the groups that allow it to get subscribers to get us to 8,000 while we're streaming. That's the goal. We only need 12 more people. So if you're on a group on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and you haven't posted yet, and they allow it, just say anybody who's interested in wargaming, just head over here. They only need 12 more.
We've got 21 likes and 46 viewers. Reaper's reporting in for us to help me to help us from having to hit my data any worse.
Our friendly neighbourhood blood raven.
Frost and Fist says, I wish I had a wall to mount a polish rack on. Well, there you go. I will do a tutorial on
building a wall.
Walls. I've done it before.
We should have filmed the studio wall going up.
Reaper's offering to create 12 fake accounts and subscribe to us, but whilst I appreciate the sentiment, Reaper, we want our users to be real people. Okay.
But thank you, Reaper.
We're at past. Shall we? I tell you what I'm going to do, Sam, is I'm going to do a little bit of a chat through the forum. I'll bring it up on screen, so you might disappear for a little bit if that's okay, but you'll be there in audio. Is that? And so feel free to chime in as well on what I have to say. So, well, this was the news of this week, wasn't it? Finally, with great anticipation, the forum was here for Wargamer Online. I'm just going to log out, and the reason I'm logging out is because I want to return to the homepage and just talk through the practicality, if you like, of getting onto the forum for all you wonderful new people who haven't tried it yet. So the way the forum works is the forum is on www.wargameronline.com. It's in the main menu there, so you can see the WGO Forum. It's right next door to the hub, which we launched recently, and we've got a round of updates to do on the hub, but I think Ulster Nation was the last one to get a bunch of updates done. So I think there's about 12 or 18 videos now in the Ulster Nation section, and we'll be we've got a new subscriber, Sam. 11 to go. And that's from Marga Land. Oh, I missed the surname now. I'm sorry. But thank you for Marga. So we've got a few updates to do on the hub, and we've talked about that in previous weeks. For the forum, it's open for everybody to view, because as you know, we've got different access levels on the website. It's absolutely open for everybody to view, but if you want to post onto the forum, you need to register to the website, basically. And to register, you have got 2 options. So if I go to the register now button, I'll just talk you through the 2 options. Obviously, you need to set a username, an email, and password and stuff. And we've got 2 types of accounts. We've got premium membership, which is $2.99 a month. And that gives you access to all of our premium content, as well as the ability to post on the forum. And then we have freemium membership, which essentially gives you access to all the free content and some freemium content we release on an irregular basis, I think is the fairest way to say it, Sam, as well as the ability to post on the forum. So what I'm going to do for the sake of argument is just to talk you through the layout of the website a little bit. As you can see, here's the latest posts. We've got recent posts, but we've also got latest videos that have gone up on the website on the side. And I think if we get right to the bottom of the page, you can see things like most popular videos and stuff, which my Necromunda video is doing all right. There you go. A little message for me. So I'm going to log in. I'm not logging in as my premium account. I think I'm going to log in as my freemium account just so you guys get an idea of what it's like.
What's this? The mayor of Saltsville.
Well, I don't think I'm ready to go there yet, Sam. I don't know. To be honest, that's appeared. It looks like it's something to do with Furious George, and I'm slightly hesitant to click on it. But we'll go there. Yeah. So here we are. I'm now logged into the website. I'm a freemium member, so I still don't have access to the premium video content. So if we want to see Sam's Necromancer apprentice tutorial, that's not going to happen. But don't worry, lots of other content on there as well. And if we go along to the forum, I'm going to land on the forum homepage just as a little... Oh my, I am killing my data, so we're doing our best, okay? It is actually quicker if you're not also simultaneously streaming. So as you can see, we've set the forum up into a few different groups. We've got a community section where people can introduce themselves. We've got a WGO news section, so any news and announcements will drop in there. There's an off-topic section, which is basically just put your madness in there. We've got a topics group for wargaming channels, pages, groups, and clubs. So come on, kablams, and all the rest of you, get something in there and get people coming along to your channels. We've already launched the WGO hub, but there's a space here on the forum for everyone to post what's going off on their channels. And I know that Ulster Nation's always an absolute angel. You know, he'll post, I'm going live in on a certain time, but it leaves the links onto from the Wargamer Community Facebook group, but he could post his links up here and all the rest. We've got an event section, and that's not just our events, but any events that are happening. So let's get ChillCon in there, and let's get all the rest of the stuff, or if your local club's got something going off. There's an event in there at the moment, which is the WGO trip to Warhammer World on the 17th. So, I have a little bit about chat about that. Maybe that's one of the posts I'll pop back to in a bit. There's a section for commission painters. Again, just a little note there. We're not vetting them or anything like that. So we'll leave it for the community to tell you whether they've used these people before and what they think of their work. There's a section for retailers, and there's also an Ask WGO section as well. So we had a couple of things in there. Someone asking about the subscriber giveaway, someone asking about how long it took for their membership to kick in, etc. And as a result of, oh no, I know what that Mayor of Saltsville thing is now. As a result of a request from Reaper, a fanfiction section as well. So I know that Reaper has written some great stuff, and he wanted community feedback on what people thought to what he was doing and some help. So he's posted some content in there, and there's now an article called The Mayor of Saltsville. I think we might have to visit both of those before we move on, so I'm sorry. I've got a feeling that might be something about you. We've also got, and probably the most active section so far, with 24 topics and 138 posts already, and considering we've been live, like 48 hours? This is the project log section. So as you can see, people have been posting up their project logs and going through all of the work they're doing. There's a tips and advice section, and I think I've already helped Ralph find a primer supplier in Europe. So as you can see, and there's also a question on there from Ralph on the beginner airbrush, and I've promised to post more detail up on thoughts and those kind of things. And then we're into the gaming section, which covers, basically Sigmar, 40k, Necromunda, Bolt Action, Frostgrave, board and card games, video games. There's even a post on Monopoly. And then in other, bless him, Neil has put in his historical war games help thread. So if anybody's wanting to get into historical war games, wanting to know all about it, then Uncle Neil, and that's his own word, Sam, Uncle Neil is there to help you out. So there you go.
Stuff.
I mean, we've been live, 48 hours, I think, something like that. There's 8 people online right now. There's 542 members. There's 361 posts, and there's 65 topics over 40 forums up and running, which is just absolutely fantastic. What I'm going to do is just cover a couple of the basics. There's a rules page, so please check that out. But anybody who messes around on the Wargamer community group will recognize our rules. Essentially, it runs simply along the lines of be nice. This is a nice, safe hobby space, please. So, you know, there's a bunch of other rules, but the overall premise is that there's a profile section where you can look at your account, your activity, your subscriptions, and your messages, and then also members. And I just want to jump into profile because we've had this question a couple of times. If I go to activity, I can see everything that I've posted, and bear in mind that this is one of my test accounts. So please bear in mind you won't see a lot of activity. If I go along to the account page, you can see where you can change your display name. That's been one of the big questions, really, which is I don't want my username to show. I want to use my cool display name. So Reaper, for instance, just updated his name. So everybody who knows Reaper on the YouTube chat will recognize Reaper inside the forum as well as Reaper28. So that's a good place to change that. You can upload your own avatar. I've mentioned Furious George's avatar in the past. We may have to revisit it because it is, without a doubt, the best avatar on the forum. I think we should have an award.
I've saved the video on my phone of Phil showed it me when we got back from the lodge, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So it's now a video on my phone, which I will cherish forever.
And the one thing that we've just added to the forum as well, because there is some more funky stuff to come along as well. We are drip feeding functionality into the forum, but we're also allowing for private messaging and group messaging. So if you want to set up a game with someone, if you want to chat to a particular group, if you want to set up a group of people, you can start a new conversation. You can bring people in. So let's just quickly add "Hey all" or something like that. That's a terrible title for a group. But as you can see, if I start typing in Reaper, for instance, there indeed is Reaper28 Grim. So, and it can just pull up. You can add a whole bunch of people and start a group chat all within the forum. You get wonderful little notifications up there. But let's have a quick look just before we close off. Let's have a quick look at what's been going off in some of the areas. I am desperately tempted to have a look at, let's start with, say, a project log. I think would be a good place to go. And I'm really sorry for my refresh. I think I've got so much going off on video that basically my browsers are just refusing to scroll. So let's have a look at Warhammer Underworld's Shadespire. This was most recently commented on by the Alt Boys, but this is a post from Ralph. So if we scroll down here, as you can see, he's working on a whole bunch of stuff. So this was his Shadespire work, and he was going through painting it and working on all of the separate components. Oh dear, my internet is groaning, Sam. It's groaning, but we're getting there. And as you can see, we've got this lovely image viewer which gives you full-size images, full screen images as well, so you can check out people's work. So we go through all of that. We do image hosting. That's another important point. But one thing I just need to mention on image hosting, because a couple of people have tripped up on this as well, is essentially the way the image hosting works is we've granted everyone their own image library. So if I go to attach a file, anything in this list is my image library. So if I was to select and delete an image from my image library, it will remove that image from previous posts I've made. So don't worry about that thing filling up. It will fill up. You can leave your images in there. That's what we're allowing. So don't worry about it. We've got a bunch of technology that tries to squish the images a little bit and make sure they don't take up too space. So we've got a bunch of stuff going off. But the most important thing is if you want people to read your older posts, don't delete those images. Otherwise, the images disappear from the older posts. So that's a little public announcement I wanted to make. Treat that as your own image library. that's available for you. Wow, should we check out a bit of fan fiction? Is this risky?
Yeah.
I think we've got a few filters on
maybe.
there for expletives, but I don't know how 100% effective it is, and I'm going to trust that Furious Judge has behaved himself with the mayor of Saltsville. One day in a town of Saltsville, Mayor Sam received a message from Beardtown. It was from King Phil requesting him to come over and take part in the... I must prepare, cried Sam. I will need all the salt. Sam ordered all of the people in Saltsville to work all day and all night to collect the salt ready for his game against King Phil. The people worked very hard, causing some of them to die from exhaustion. After a week, all the salt was mined and loaded onto Goliath trucks. Sam packed his Grey Knights into his KR case, being sure to assure the people of Saltsville that he is not sponsored by them. And then he was on his way to Beardtown. To be continued. Sam, there you are, look. There you are, welcome to scenic Saltsville. And I'm not sure that's the best advert for the use of the forum, but there's a section for it, so let's not take umbrage.
Amazing. It makes me sound like North Korea.
But I think
My
it's
salty
also,
populace.
I think it's fair to say that the fan fiction section was actually designed for fans of gaming rather than fans of the channel, and indeed it would be. It would be remiss. It would be remiss of me not to at least show that Reaper28 has indeed done some rather creative writing. That he's asking people for feedback on the first and second chapter of his work. So please bear that in mind. So if you want a good read, it's there. If you want to see what people are working on, it's in the project logs. And the good news is you register to the website. That gives you access as well to the freemium content. It gives you access to lots of more content that's coming on the website. You can navigate around the hub and check out other people's content as well. And we've got all of this wonderful filtering. Where's all the Horus Heresy content? What's happening in Bolt Action? So if I was to select Bolt Action, it will just instantly filter out all of the Bolt Action videos. And you can see that's across all of the channels. So we see stuff from the Wargamer, we see stuff from Sam. So there you go. We're pretty pleased with it. Sam, you pretty pleased with the forum?
I'm really pleased with how everyone started posting. I knew it was going to be popular, and I knew that once we'd sorted the image hosting, it's one thing that we've got over a lot of forums, because it's a bit of a pain having to keep going and hosting it elsewhere and then linking it through. And doing it this way is just so much easier, so much better. And I think it brings a lot of traffic to the website. People see videos that they've never seen before, and all in all, it's brilliant. And not only that, we've got the best moderators. We have the greatest moderators, but they're amazing, and they've got loads of experience. They know exactly what to do, and they're doing a really good job, and really happy with that as well. So.
And it's worth mentioning we've also got a list of other people who have volunteered for moderation. And as the traffic increases, what I've said to the people that have come online first, they're actually helping us with a bunch of stuff that does and sometimes doesn't go wrong. It's a lot easier for me to work with a smaller group when we're testing things and breaking things than it is to try and explain things to a broader group. As the traffic grows, as people online grow, then we will be contacting those people who volunteered for to be moderators as well, and adding them to the list of moderators. But right now, where we're at, we're okay, and it's been helpful to work in a smaller group. But thank you to everybody who has volunteered, and I still do have the list, and I still, given it's Christmas, have checked it twice. I really wanted
Your boys was helping out. Has he messaged you?
Yes,
I know
yes.
Boys was a moderator on other stuff, and he's volunteered. I don't know.
Yes, I think yes, he's definitely messaged me. It might be worth mentioning your first post or so may require moderation, and that's just a standard thing to stop spam bots from simply nailing loads of content all over the website. But don't take it personally. It's just so we can identify that when you do your first post, you are indeed a human being wanting to post something on the forum. Once you've had that post approved by a moderator, then you won't need moderation beyond that, or you shouldn't do. The same also happens for messaging. You're required to do 1 or 2 posts before you can start to do the personal messaging. And again, that's just about making sure that we've not just got robots coming in here and spamming people with nonsense. So again, nothing personal with all of those things. We just need to make sure that when people come on board, they're real people and not computery machines wanting to sell us all sorts of unsavory devices.
What are they, though, Phil? They're spiders, aren't they? You told me all this. They're called spiders or something.
Well, no, spiders troll your website to read the data on it, but bots are the things that they're little programs that pretend to be human beings. So you get good bots.
Sounds like something from the Matrix.
It is all very Matrixy. So there you go. We've got a yo in the introduction as well. So we'll let's have a quick look to see who's introducing themselves on the yo. So this is Hobby Scatterbrain coming in. So there you go. Welcome, Hobby Scatterbrain. I've scrolled too fast, so apologies. Oh, Sam, honestly, my scrolling's completely broken. I think it's just I've got so much going off on my machine. I need a bigger graphics card. There we go. We've got... I can't stop it scrolling now. So, been in tabletop gaming for around 1.5 years. There you go. Came back into it about 1.5 years ago. Well, there you go. So, welcome to Hobby Scatterbrain. And anybody else who's coming in and signing up to the forum. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to be posting my project logs in there as well. We're looking at adding more and more functionality as well, so it's all going to be good fun. So at that, I think I will bring Sam's wonderful face back onto the screen, and we'll see if there's any questions on the forum. So
you don't have to. You can keep it on forum. We can read all of Reaper's story. We can do story time with Phil. We can go through the Blood Ravens.
Let's just have a quick look then. So, Coleman's joined us, and Chris N as well has joined the forum and posted. Saves unapproved on my first post. Does each post need approval? Well, there you go. I've just answered that question. No, each post will not need approval. It's just that first post. So hopefully one of the wonderful moderators will be already onto that and working on those. But please be patient, of course. Oh, well, there you go. Coleman then goes on to say, I think Ralph has already done it. So there you go.
There you go. Coleman, Ralph, and Amit. They're the three.
And in fact, Ralph got
more. I've only seen the 3 of them so far, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've said, well, that's it. There's 3 plus the 2 of us, which we're capable of moderating as well, Sam. So we're at 5 moderators at the moment, but there you go. Okay, where are we now? Daryl says, here's a tip for the forums. Don't accidentally delete all of your uploaded photos, kids. Yes, you were one of the first to spot that wee problem. As I mentioned, every time you hit that upload button, you're essentially accessing your own personal library. So deleting them does indeed do exactly that. It deletes them from everywhere. And if you do repost the images and send a message to the mods, and we can edit your post and put them back in the original post. Well, there you go. Ralph's been moderator extreme and also helping people out, which is exactly what happened with Daryl. So all good and sorted. Jet Set Jimbo says, fantastic. At Furious George, though. So that must have been something Furious George said. Oh, wait. I think we know what that was. His story, of course. Furious George says, I can't believe Phil read that out. Well, maybe, Furious George, if you can do that continued once a week before a live show, we'll do a little story time with Phil or Sam. I think I
can't believe you found my salt mine. Of all places. Like...
We can have a little story time maybe on some of the chats. Reaper, I will read. Yours is a lot longer, Reaper. That would be a show in its own right, and I think it deserves people to go along to the chat and read it out. But maybe we can cover some of those things. Certainly, I think like the forum and like we've done in the past with the community group, the Facebook community groups, we still want people to post their work up there as well. We will pop along to these on some of the live shows and have a look at what's going off and pick out some of the posts and have a look at what people are doing. Somebody explained to me that I'd never really given much thought to is one of the good things about forums is it becomes a really good repository of content. that's easier to search and easier to find things, as opposed to
Yes,
Facebook,
it's so
where
much easier.
Facebook, you post something and it's like, here's my latest work, and everybody goes, that's brilliant, and then within about 10 minutes it's gone, and it's almost gone for good, and you can never
Yes, I
find
mean,
it
I
back.
used to do the logs that I used to use on Warseer and Portent before it was Warseer. It was quite good on there because I could 6 years later I could still go back to my logs and update them. Facebook, it's good to get feedback from people, but if you are not on Facebook for a few days or even a week or a month, you miss so much stuff. Whereas
Yeah.
on a forum, if you don't have time to do it for a week, or if you want to take some time off, or you're just busy, you can always go back and just look at what you want to see. So you can have a scroll down the project logs and you can have a look at all of that. So definitely, definitely better than Facebook, I think, in terms of catching up with people's content.
Yeah. And I think it's, you can subscribe as well, can't you, to topics? You can subscribe to certain posts so you can get notifications. All
Yes.
of that is built into the forum system as well. And Sam, you'll be pleased about this. I actually managed to make the forum 18 pixels wider than it was before as well. So it properly uses up the space available to it on the website now, rather than kind of being indented a little bit. You
Nice.
hadn't commented, but I know that comment was coming at some point. I was pretty certain.
I've been pretty chilled. I've just been letting you get on with it and just sitting back and.
It's been a lot of work, and I have to say, there's kind of couple of Amit coming for the weekend. He was an absolute star, and it was quite funny. If you'd have seen it, it was like NASA in here. I got laptop, I got the computer, he got his laptop, we got an iPad and an iPhone, and we were just like hitting it on everything with different test accounts, trying to get everything sorted. And then Ralph and Coleman was on the other end, like approving stuff. It was awesome. It was a great effort from everybody to get that thing up and running, so it was brilliant. Okay, there needs to be a weekly show, which is nothing more than story time with Sam. Well, there you go. We should do that now, shouldn't we?
I didn't say story time with Sam. I said story time with Phil.
Oh, okay. Telling stories about Sam then.
That's fine.
Reaper says, don't take it personally. You just have to be human, not Xenos. Phil, you are an Eldar. How are you on it? Oh, I think that's talking about the checking out the bots. I don't know how you go from my face to Eldar, but I've been compared to dwarves before, but never an Eldar before. But maybe an Eldar Exodite who spent too long in the woods, maybe. I think that's probably the best thing.
Might be just due to the fact that your main army is Eldar.
It could be, really. It could be. True. Jet Set Jimbo says, Phil, how are OpenReach getting on with your fiber order? It's horrific. They so this was the official line. I'll take 2 seconds to talk about this. They said the fiber required major roadworks for it to be achieved. And then and I was thinking, that's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks. And then weeks ago, a whole bunch of trucks showed up and dug a massive trench for 2.5 miles and laid down this big plastic pipe for the fiber optic to be fitted into. Buried the plastic pipe again with a nice big blue rope down the centre of it, no doubt, so they can tug the fiber optic cable all the way through it, and then never returned, ever. So if you could get broadband over blue rope, I would be really, really excited right now. But unfortunately, the bandwidth of blue rope is pretty awful. I am at the mercy of OpenReach. Hopefully one day a bunch of wonderful OpenReach people will show up, run a nice fiber optic cable in that lovely pipe they've laid underneath the ground, and all of these woes will be gone, but we'll see.
Well, I like the idea that you're sitting by your window watching every move that these BT engineers or fitters or whatever are doing. Like, oh, there's the blue rope. Oh,
I actually know the OpenReach people round here by name now. Because as soon as the van pulls up, they get me wandering over going, how's it going? How's it going? And they go, no,
Go away.
And they're like, no, I'm just fixing the internet to the house at the end of the street. And you're like, oh, so you're not here to put the cable down? No, mate, I'm not. No. Oh, okay. Do you know anything about when that might be going in? No, they don't tell us, mate. We just get work to do, like a roster every day and stuff, and it's like on it goes. So no. Anyway, yes, please. Stewie sounds like he requires blood. Is Stewie making noise?
It's been all right. Yeah, he's actually quiet. When we took him to the lodge with us, and he was quiet the entire time. And then one moment he just went nuts and started smashing everything up. And I was saying, look, this is what he does. As soon as we go live, this is what he does. But he's been quiet tonight. He's jumped around the cage a little bit. I kind of zone out. So until people start realizing on the stream what he's doing, I don't really pay attention now.
I'm just checking. I haven't missed anyone on the chat. I think Marlborough69 has just joined us, saying, and James Hadley as well has joined us as well. So thank you for catching the live stream. It's so tricky to try and catch everybody, but Kenny Bickerton as well couldn't do the Chronicles. I was out of the country, but now the forum sees perfect for an Ultramarine Army progress log. Awesome, that's fantastic, Kenny. Elster Nation is in there as well, and Gabriel is asking for a link to vote. Hold on. Oh, that's Surreal saying to vote for the Warhammer Heroes. So, thank you very much, Surreal. He's suggesting people vote for us, so that's nice.
I think everybody is going to get votes over me. I think Rachel's going to have more votes. You will have.
I voted
double
for
the
you,
amount
Sam.
of vote.
I voted for you, Sam. I wouldn't even
you can't vote for me.
I wouldn't even be doing this channel if it wasn't for you. How can I not vote for you? You were the store manager, remember, when I really got into this stuff, like big time.
Does that count? Does that count as a hobby hero?
Yeah, you're my hero, Sam. Especially because you've got a salt mine as well, which I think is really cool. What else?
Yeah, you don't end up in the salt mine.
Marlborough69 says maybe by Christmas he will have finished his Chronicles army. That's cool.
Actually, you know what? You can vote for multiple people, so I could vote for Rachel as well. Although I don't know if I'd. I mean, vote for you for definite. I don't know who else I'd vote because there's loads of people in the community that have helped, haven't there?
Let's
be honest.
I mean, that is the truth as well. There's a lot of people that have helped us. I was kind of saying that.
They've said you can vote for as many people as you want. So, there's a bunch of YouTubers that are really, really good and are worth definitely sending a message to Games Workshop about, just to say.
Well, that's it. And even a bunch of people who've just, supported us along the way as well, Okay, right. Where are we at? Jet Set Jimbo is recommending I simply use cups and string to provide my internet. You're probably right. Brendan Schaub. I'm going to go with, apologies for messing up with your name. I just watched a guy on another live gaming, and he's the reason all other races think white people are. Oh, I think we're going a bit annoyed now, something like that. So, yes, okay. I'm not quite sure what that comment means, but it sounds like he's watched somebody else on another channel and is not a very nice person. So there you go. But well, there are people like that out there, aren't they? But we tend to stick with nice people.
There are nice people. There are nasty people, and you just choose who to listen to.
I mean, admittedly, he does end it by saying, you guys are chill and cool. So thank you very much for that comment as well. So we do try to keep it chill and cool on this channel and just relax and do hobby. That's all we're trying to do. And we
building little plastic dwarves, so there's not really much you can get angry
about. I have to say, there's not a lot to get angry about. And there's too many good people in this hobby to get angry about things. Let's just do wargaming together. Right, okay then. What else have we got now? Night Guys. Marty Milligan is heading off. He's got an early start tomorrow, and he'll catch the rest of the show in the week. Well, there's probably not going to be much more show anyway, Marty. I myself have got to go and relax and take it easy for a bit. I'm back at work again tomorrow. Been a bit of a long day today as well. We've got the live draw to sort out as well, so we're going to try and get that sorted. I've got to stay at least awake tonight till midnight, turn comments off on the YouTube video as well, so that sort of closes that down. We need to do that and then start compiling all of that for the live draw tomorrow, which is going to be good fun. So if you haven't entered already, you still have time. Get a comment on that YouTube video or sign up for premium membership, and the premium membership is the bigger prize, so it's worth it, trust me. Right, okay then. Tabletop Op says, so is there any update to a Wargamer offline event? Living in the US, I couldn't make it, but it would be cool to have a UK version to the Valhalla, etc. The only update is I have scheduled a meeting before Christmas, and I need to talk to Sam about his availability to go out and check the venue out. But there's, okay, it's not progressing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but our intention is to try and do something next year. And yeah, we need to go check this venue out. But I've set a meeting up for that, so that's cool. Have we hit 8,000 yet? Do we want to even check, Sam? I don't think we will have done. 12 subscribers in the space of an hour.
Well, it pops up, doesn't it, every time you get a subscriber, and we've only had one.
That's two, so we've had one subscriber. And indeed, we have gained one subscriber. We are 11 subscribers off of 8,000 subscribers. So there you go. We would have known, but thank you anyway for asking. We'll get there one day, I'm sure.
It's because I joined you, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't blame yourself, Sam. It was probably me just rambling on forever. Next question, Furious George. How did I get into the hobby? That's me. It's a long time ago, before there was pens or paper, and the only entertainment we could make for each other was role play. No, I was 8 years old. I moved to an area. This is the full story. I was 8 years old. I moved from an area where there was lots of other 8-year-olds to an area where the closest person to my age was 13. And there was a group of 13 and 14-year-olds all playing a game called Tunnels and Trolls. I had a choice of playing with kids who were 5 and 6 or hanging around with these kids who were 13. And I decided that simply dribbling in a corner with Play-Doh wasn't really my thing. I'd kind of outgrown that. So I started hanging around with these older guys, and they introduced me to Tunnels and Trolls, which was kind of like just a version of Dungeons and Dragons, basically. And that's how I got into it. So that's how it all started. That went on to Warhammer Fantasy, the original version. I had a massive orc army, and it grew from there. I think probably my favorite game at the time was probably Fantasy, but I was also a big fan of some of the role plays like Middle-earth Roleplay, MERP as it was called back then, and I've still got a massive box of that up in the loft as well. It's an amazing roleplay game, but muchly dated now. So that's how I got into it, Furious. I think we're pretty much there. There's what time are you doing the show tomorrow, guys? It's probably going to be 9 o'clock again, isn't it? I think, because we need a bit of time to sort things out, I would say. So I'm going to say 9 o'clock for the draw tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't be available till that time anyway, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, one way or another, we'll get the video done.
You even need me there, to be fair.
Pardon?
You might not need me there.
Yeah, well, I think it's fine. We're going to do the draw. We'll make an announcement, and we're off then. So I think Elster Nation is probably thinking. I know that sometimes Chilling Wargamer have been doing shows on Thursday, but I think you've been going a bit earlier than 9. So either way, we won't be on for long, Elster Nation. And I tell you what, if I overlap your show, I'll push people back onto your channel as well at the end. How about that? So apologies if we're overlapping the schedule, because I know that's me breaking our usual schedule. Okay then, right, everybody. Oh, Tunnels and Trolls, says Frank Storm. Well, there you go. There's somebody out there who even knows what I'm talking about. Surreal says, same story here, and those kids were into drugs. That is the problem when you start hanging around with all the good kids, I'm afraid, as well. Okay then. And then
I've almost built 5 fire slayers in this. This is good, me not even paying attention.
Right, okay then. Don't forget to like and subscribe, says Acharya. He's doing his bit to get us those last few subscribers to put us over the 8,000 limit. We'll see.
Limit. We just start. Nobody else is allowed to subscribe after 8K. That's the rule.
We're
just going to have to ban people.
Well, we're switching off at 8,000, aren't we? I thought that was it. Job done.
Yep. Well, we didn't. Oh, that was the announcement. We were supposed to. Oh, snap. Well, 11 more people.
Okay, thank you everybody. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group. Acharya is doing all of the lists in the chat now, but it's Wargamer Online community on Facebook. There's Wargamer Online, the page on Facebook. www.wargameronline is the website. Check out the forum, sign up for premium, help us out, because we're doing our best to grow and give you more and more wonderful content. So that's a good night from me, and
we've got MDF paint racks coming soon. As an extra. Wargamer Online MDF rack.
Are you going to say goodnight, Sam?
Bye. Thanks for inviting me as well. It's been good. See you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.